Good evening, hockey fans. For tonight's NHL matchup, your Utah Hockey Club fights to keep their playoff hopes alive during a short Pacific road trip starting tonight against Seattle. Lineups for tonight's game, looking over to Utah first. Keller, Cooley, Schmaltz on that top line. Kerfoot, Hayton, Gunther on the second. Krause, McBain, Doan on the third. Carcone, Stenlin, O'Brien round out the forward group. Sergachev, Marino on the top D line. Cole, Kesselring on the second. Mata, Dursey rounding it out, and Vamelka in net. Looking over to Seattle, Schwartz, Beniers, Kako on the top pairing. Newman, McCann, Burakovsky on the second. Tolvanen, Stevenson, and Eberle on the third. Cartier, Wright, and Asamont rounding that out for them. Dunn, Larson on the top D pairing. Alexiak, Montour on the second. Mahura, Fleury on the third. And Grubauer in net tonight. It is good to be back. Missed a bunch of games because of work and other things, but tonight we are back. Utah fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive. Only 2 points back as of right now. Calgary, the one they're trying to beat. Currently, that game in the second, Avs up 1-0, so be sure to keep an eye on that one throughout the night. Puck drop just seconds away as we get set for the opening face-off. See how rusty I am and see if I can get right back into this as if I didn't miss any. It is good to be back calling these. Last 8 o'clock game, I believe, for a minute or at all. I don't remember off the top of my head. I know Sundays is at 6, so a little earlier. But nothing better to do on a Friday night than watch a little bit of Utah hockey. Opening faceoff, Beniers, Hayton. We'll try this one a third time. Finally, they'll win this one back. Utah, the one to get it. Sergachev trying to dig away, but Alexiak, I believe, the one. Nope, Kako, the one trying to dig that one away. Utah will keep control, though. Sergachev back in his own zone. Great pass there from Marino. Hayton will pick it up right at the blue line, trying to cut in right side. Beniers will poke him off the puck, though. Back down for Kako, trying to move this one out of the Seattle zone left side. They will. Utah trying to regain control. It'll bounce all the way to their end, and they will gain control. Dursey, he'll leave this one behind the net for Marino, I believe. Can't quite see if that's a 6 or an 8. Regardless, Utah for a change there. Stevenson gets tired of waiting in front of the Utah net, charges him to force him to move this one out of their zone quickly. They'll get it to the Seattle line, but they'll push it right back to their own zone. Bad pass there by Utah. Krause not able to pick that one up. Dursey, the one not able to pick that up. Seattle will move this one up the boards and into the net. An anticlimactic call there. You can definitely feel the rust. Let's try that one again. Now we got a minute going into this. Utah tries to get a pass through their own zone. Dursey will miss that one. It bounces along the left side boards. Tolvanen, a great little dump there for Stevenson. He'll throw this one at the net. And then it is Tolvanen picking up the rebound, puts this one left side. Beautiful shot there by Seattle to take the lead early. Tolvanen, his 20th of the season, and Stevenson, his 35th assist. 2 shots for Seattle, the only ones in the game so far. 19-14 in the first. Seattle proving either that they want to play spoiler tonight or that they're not fully selling and that they still have a good team. See if they can get something done tonight. Maybe play spoiler for Utah as mentioned before. Finally, not sure what they're waiting on there, but puck drop now will be McBain and McCann. Had me confused there for a second. Utah win this one back. Cole in his own zone, trying to chip it up through neutral ice. Takes a bounce to the Seattle blue line. Larson to pick it up, though. Shipping this one out of their own zone. Tied up right at the center ice red line. McBain he'll up this one to the far right corner. Larson will try and poke this one right side. McBain will battle for it behind the Seattle net. Poke to the left side corner. Push back down to the point. Trying to get a tip in front by Utah. That one just goes wide. McBain will pick it up along the right side boards. Still fighting to keep control. McCann will pick this one away. Seattle back up the other way. Chipped up the right side to Mahura, it looked like. Trying to get him centering feed there for McCann. Won't find it. Newman, the one there, not whoever I said before. Mahura was 38 was looking for, not 28. Seattle with some great pressure early. Love the attempt there, or love the effort by them to just, force Utah to fall into that trap they have several times this season where just the defensive game from the opponent severely outweighs the offense from Utah, not letting it in the zone at all. Then the defense pushing it back up quickly. Seattle going a step further, getting that offense rolling. Will be a left side draw in the Utah zone. Stenlin and Acemont on the draw. This one won back by Utah again, back behind their own net. Push the right side corner for Carcone. He'll chip this one out to center ice. Looking for a long feed up to McBain. Or not for McBain, for O'Brien. He'll push this one to the right side corner. Not able to get that one in front. Trying to get a pass up to right. He'll pick it up just for a second, though. Trying to push it back down to the Seattle zone now. Mahura this time gets this one around to Fleury. He'll try and push this one out left side boards. Utah fighting to keep this one in. Mata, the Utah player there, ultimately ends up back to Mahura in the right side corner. 18 minutes left in the first now. Right, moving up the left side, cuts into the Utah zone. Big shot across there. Saved by Vamelka. Acemont, the one putting that one on net. Seattle fighting to keep control of this in the Utah end. It'll be Sergachev who pushes this one to Mata in the corner. Here's Gunther moving up the left side boards. Gets this one to Kerfoot. Trying to chip it to him behind the behind the Seattle net. He'll find him, but can't put it back down the line like he wants. Montour, he'll move this one out of the zone. Marino will pick it up and neutralize instead. Utah chipping this one back in. Alexiak pressuring along the right side boards. Utah looks for a centering feed. Won't find it. Seattle back up the other way. It's Eberle with it. Right side, trying to get a short little pass there to Tolvanen. Can't quite find it, though. Pushed along the right side boards all the way down to the Seattle end. Will not be an icing on that one. Trying to push this one out. Kept in along the right side boards just for a second. Seattle back up the other way with speed. Cutting into the slot. Montour, soft little shot on net there. Vamelka able to save with ease. 17:02 left in the first, shot setting 3-1 in favor of Seattle, and Seattle with the only goal so far. Great offensive pressure from Seattle so far. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from them. I would say if Utah's been playing good over these last few and how this game's comparing, but frankly, I didn't see any of the last two. I had work. So hopefully, calling a penalty on that one? Yes, will be a penalty. Cooley going to the box. 2 minutes for slashing against Montour. So this beginning few minutes for Utah just getting worse by the second for him. However, the Utah penalty kill has been very good. So we'll see if they can hold Seattle down for 2 minutes here. Was a right side draw in the Utah zone. Pushed the left side corner. Both teams digging away at it. Sergachev trying to clear it out of the zone. Kept in line by Seattle, though. Kept in along right side boards, trying to feed Schwartz in the slot. Ultimately, he'll be pushed back that left side corner, trying to get this one to Stenlin. He'll throw this one to the middle for Cole. He'll dump this all the way back down to the Seattle end. 16:35 left in the first. Seattle up out of their own zone. Tolvanen with it. He'll chip this one up. Over to right along the right side boards. Over to Kakko. Push back down to Dunn now. Over to Tolvanen. Over to McBain. McCann. I'm going to mess that up all night. Back to Kakko, right side dot. He'll find Schwartz deep with it. Back down to Kakko, right side boards. 1:10 left in the power play. Both teams digging forward along the right side boards. Ultimately, it will be Mata that comes away with it. He'll dump it all the way back down to the Seattle end. They'll go for a change. Grubauer, he'll just push this one behind the net for Montour. 55 seconds left in the Seattle power play. Leaves this one back for Eberle. Cuts up through neutral ice. He'll dump this one back to the Seattle zone. It'll be Stevenson. Cuts in left side, trying to dump it back down to Beniers. A couple big hits there from Utah, and they'll keep control. That one whistled, or nope, looked like it was there. Ultimately wasn't. Utah still in control, just passing this one around their own end. 30 seconds left in the Seattle power play. Finally, they'll dump this one all the way back down. Montour to pick it up again. Pass up to neutral ice. It'll be McCann. He'll dump it back to the Seattle end for Eberle again. Cutting in right through the middle. Pass across left side. Trying to ring this one back to him. Ultimately, it will be Newman who picks this one up. Utah will steal this one away. It's Schmaltz with it. Bad pass neutralized. Stevenson right back to him. 3 seconds. They'll dump this one in left side. Utah looking to clear. All the way back down. Will not be an icing on that one. I believe they caught it right before the power play ended there. Right, cutting up the left side boards, chips this one up. Trying to get a shot on net. They'll find it, but Vamelka with the save. Tolvanen, the one with the shot there. Utah back up the other way with speed, trying to find Cooley fresh out of the box. Can't quite hold the pass. They'll end up back behind the Seattle net. Kraken throws this one to the front. Nobody there to pick it up, though. Burakovsky cutting up the right side. Drops this one back for Tolvanen. Back to right, back to Burakovsky. Circles that right side dot. Throws this one towards the net, ends up wide. Back to left side corner. Tolvanen trying to push it down to right. Ultimately ends up out of the zone. Dunn races to pick this one up. He'll hold behind the Seattle net just for a second, though. Quick pass up through his own zone. Long pass up by Seattle. Won't be an icing there. Mata able to get to it first. He'll poke it left side corner, trying to get a tip in front to Schmaltz. Won't find it and bounces out of the zone. Larson with it. Looking for a long pass up to Tolvanen. It's either him or Beniers. Can't quite tell who. Doesn't matter as Krause will pick this one away. Beniers, the one on the effort there. Tries to throw it to him in front. That one tipped wide and up into the netting. Great effort by Seattle in this opening 6 1/4 here. But ultimately, wrong way of wording that one. Good effort from Utah following the goal and the penalty kill. But ultimately, it will be Seattle with the majority of the pressure so far in this opening stand. Listening to Utah Seattle on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after a short commercial break. About 13:45 left to play in the first. Seattle striking first within the opening minute. So Utah going to have to answer back, playing much better after killing off that penalty. So we'll see if they can build momentum from there and carry this to at least tie the game up before the end of the first. Though, granted, still have 14 minutes, still plenty time to play. Shot sitting 4-1 in favor of Seattle, up 1. Once we cut away from the bench, there we go. It'll be a left side draw in the Utah end. Stenlin McCann on the draw. This one back by Utah. Now 5 for 5 on faceoff so far tonight. Can't quite clear it out of the zone. Montour will keep it in. It'll be Hayton with it, trying to cut up through the middle. He'll dump it back to the Utah end instead. Trying to move this one up. Bad pass there by Utah. Taken away by Tolvanen. Right in center ice. Montour up the right side. Throws this one to the net right into the glove of Vimilka. He'll hold for the save. 13:24 now left in the first. Utah's really got to fix the issues in their own zone. That first goal, a bad pass in their own zone. They're not able to dump it and really get over their own line too well. Definitely going to need to fix that. I mean, within the next few minutes here, you can't let that go on for a period. This has to be fixed now before it becomes a major problem. Seattle already showing they can capitalize on this. You don't want to give them any more chances. Right side draw in the Utah zone. McBain and McCann on the draw. It's going to trip me up all night. I can feel it, especially with the rust. Good news for me, though. McBain almost did it. Kicked out of the draw. It'll be Krause and McCann right side. This one back by Utah again. Cole, he'll push this one to the corner, trying to get this one up to Krause. He'll chip it out of the zone. I believe Doan the one to do with that, to chip it out there. McBain, he'll run this one around to Krause. It'll try to get to him behind the Seattle net. It won't end up instead. Newman, he'll dump this one back. Here's Seattle entering right side. Trying to get this one back down the line, instead taken away by Doan. Moving up the left side, he's got Kraus with him. Doan moving in, tries to cut in front. No goal there. I don't even think he got a shot off. Utah trying to keep this one in. A bouncing puck, though, as they're not able to get enough. They'll keep control and neutralize. Cameraman, please pan over. Thank you. Cole back in the zone, and Doan with a beautiful opportunity there. Has Grubauer down. I think he probably was poke checked off the puck there. Couldn't quite get enough control. Great effort there by the Seattle defenseman. Dumped left side corner of the Seattle zone. Both teams chipping away at it. O'Brien trying to grab it. Instead, it'll bounce to the right side corner. Lexiak will get to it first. Kirkoni trying to dig away. Wright and O'Brien coming in to help respectively. Ends up into the slot. Nobody there, but Seattle will pick it up. Montour chipping this one. Left side corner of the Utah zone. Dursey without a stick and a glove. They'll call this one. Wonder if this will be a penalty on Utah. Have to see on the replay here. Going back, Doan, beautiful opportunity. Yeah, just seems to stumble through Grubauer and not able to get anything as he cuts in front. See a better angle here. Yeah, just a little too far there. Not able to poke that one on net. No penalty on Utah there. That one just called dead. Might have been an icing. Regardless, back to the Seattle end. Left side draw. Finally, Seattle will win a face-off. Montour, he'll dump this one around to Alexiak. Moving this one out right side, all the way back down to the Utah end. Can confirm this time that will be an icing on Seattle. 12:03 left in the first now. Shot sitting 4-1 in favor of Seattle. Utah's got to get something going early here. Though still plenty of time to play in the game. If they can control earlier, maybe get something going on offense here. Seattle win this draw again, left side. Cannot let Seattle control for too long in a game. They have to win. Back down to the Utah end will be Motto that picks it up, trying to move up the other way. Keller dumps this one for Coolidge, cutting up the left side with speed. Throws this one to the net, looking for a rebound, won't find it. Seattle will pick this one up right in front of Grubauer. They'll dump this one all the way to the Utah end. Another icing on them. 11:42 now left in the second. If nothing else, if you're Utah, you're controlling faceoff extremely well, winning the first 6, I believe, before Seattle had even won one of them. However, as stated before, they need to fix the issues back in their own end, especially on exits. That Seattle defense crushing them on entries, and they're fumbling themselves on exits. So if they can fix those issues up quickly, should hopefully swing momentum back in their favor. Left side draw, Seattle zone again will be Hayton and Wright on the draw. Second attempt here. This one to the left side corner. Montour will get to it first, getting this one up to Dunn, taken away by Utah, trying to keep this one in at the line. It takes a bounce just too far. Sergachev will get to it first in his own end. Schwartz with some good pressure forces Sergachev to move up out of his zone quickly here. Gets this one up to Gunther, cutting in right through the middle. Beautiful effort by him. Rolls right on Grubauer. He'll hold for the save. Gunther almost pulling kind of that move you see McDavid do. Let's try that one again. The move McDavid does, where he just cuts through all 4 defensemen in the zone, or all 4 playing defensemen, I should say. Just not able to get through the second set there. Beautiful effort by him, though, fresh from the bench, I believe, cutting right in, trying to spark some offense from Utah. Left side draw again in the Seattle zone. This time won back by Seattle, chipped out left side. Schwartz trying to move up with it. Instead, Utah will take that puck away. Cooley cutting up the right side this time. Schwartz able to poke check him off the puck, though. Here they come back up the other way. It's Beniers cutting on the right side, trying to cut in front with it. Couple shots there, saved by Vamelka. Trying to get it around to Schmaltz. Won't find it. Seattle keep it in. Back to Larson down at the point. Round to Kakko. Schwartz, a big shot. That one right into the glove of Vamelka. He'll hold for the save. 10:53 left in the first so far. Seattle with some great pressure when they've been able to get into the Utah zone. And by win, I mean every time they are. If we're getting technical, I'm on Team Pittsburgh. For purposes here, I'm Team Utah native. So majority Utah, but overall, just happy to see a good game. Left side draw in the Utah zone. Utah won it back to the left side corner, trying to move it out, but Stevenson will fight to keep it in. Seattle dump it out themselves, trying to look for a re-entry here. Dunn, he'll chip this one to the right side. Cole grab it first. Castlering, quick pass up the left side boards there. Stenlin trying to push this one in, ultimately taken off the puck there by Fleury. Unable to clear, back down to the point now. Carcone trying to throw one at the net, ultimately bounces wide. Stenlin will pick it up along the right side boards, back down the line for Kesselring, throwing this one at the net. Blockered away by Grubauer. Running around to the right side boards again. Kesselring looking for another one. Instead, he'll try and push it up the boards. O'Brien on the right side corner trying to find Stenlin in the slot, won't be able to. Seattle finally back in control. Tolvanen, the one with it, as both teams go for a change. 10 minutes left in the first now. Mahura back behind his own net. Trying to push this one up through neutral ice. Ultimately, it'll end up behind the Utah net. Vmelka with it. He'll chip this one along the left side boards. Dursey not able to push it out. Ultimately, it will end up out. But still in control of Seattle. They'll push it in just for a second. It'll be McBain that cuts out with it. Back up the left side. McCann trying to cut this one in front for Newman. Back around to McCann, right side boards. Now he'll let this one roll all the way to Montour down at the right side point. Back along the left side corner now for Alexiak trying to dig away at it. Doan will get this one over to Dursey. Throwing this one right to Montour, back down at the slot. He'll push it along the left side boards for Newman, trying to fight for it. Utah will get it back along those left side boards, and they'll clear this one to neutral ice. Alexiak will get to it first behind his own net. Kraus with some pressure there. Hayton trying to kind of cause a disturbance in the slot there, unable to do much with it. Montour will chip this one up right side. All the way around to the left side corner, Utah trying to move this one back out of their own zone. Hayton looking for a pass, catches the stick of the Seattle player there. We'll end up back down to the Seattle zone where they have control. Gunther trying to fight for it in neutral ice, has control of it just for a second. Not able to do much with it though. Asamont, he'll push this one left side corner, the Utah end. Chipped up, and Utah trying to get a pass over to Kerfoot there, not able to hold it. Seattle push it right back in. Asamont the one to do that. Hayton right in front of the Utah net with it. He'll double back behind his own net as both teams go for a change. 8:15 left in the first now. Shot sitting 6-1 in favor of Seattle. Kakko and Beniers both with pressure. It'll be Kesselring behind his own net, cutting out with it. Quick pass across to Cole. He'll chip this one into the Seattle end. Will end up behind the net. Nobody there but Seattle to grab. Trying to chip this one out to Fleury. It'll be Schmaltz that picks it up, throws this one to the net, goes wide. Cooley back to Schmaltz. In a little too close to grab that one. Kesselring not able to keep it in the zone either. There will be a penalty on the play there. Believe a check from behind. That's what I saw at least. Nope, just cross-checking. Kakko, 2 minutes to the box for cross-checking. Cooley does that right in front of the Seattle bench. Oh yeah, that's clear. So no issues with that one. See if the Utah power play can get them on the board. Maybe Gunther can get one going. As they pointed out in the pre-game show, 17-0-1 when Gunther scores. So we'll see what happens on the power play. As it stands, Seattle up 1-0 against Utah. 7:44 left to play in the first. Listening to Utah Seattle on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. .744 left to play. Utah heading to the power play. Kako, 2 minutes cross-checking against Cooley. See if this is what they need to get something rolling. So looking at stats during the commercial break there, the only one Utah's really doing good at, and they're doing extremely well at it, is face-offs, leading 7-4 as of the second. Besides that, Utah struggling through these first, 12 and 20 seconds, something about that. Left side draw, Seattle zone, Utah on the power play. Try a third attempt here to get this one dropped. Hayton out of the dot. It'll be Stevenson and Schmaltz on the draw. Finally, they'll drop this one. A little short little win there. Seattle will pick it up. McCann, he'll dump this one all the way down to the Utah end. Worrying sign for Utah. When I last saw the games, they had a struggle getting it back into the opponent's zone on the power play. So we'll see if they fix that issue since I've last seen. Cutting up the left side, force to the right side corner. Schmaltz, Keller coming in to help. Larson doing a great job pressuring him right along the boards. Gunther looking for one from an angle, won't find it. He'll pick the puck right back up. Back down to Sergachev, right side point with it. Back up to Gunther. Keller, right side. Moving this one back down. Sergachev down at the point. Cutting up. Keller fakes a shot. He'll keep control. Back down to Gunther. Keller back with it now. Hayton deep with it right side. Looking for anything. Back down to Schmaltz. Gunther, great poke check there by Seattle. Break up that pass. He'll keep control of it, though. Schmaltz trying to get this one back to Sergachev, but ultimately poked out of the zone by Seattle. 1 minute left in the power play. Looking for a quick break there. That would actually be an offsides on Utah. With 6:42 left. Great effort there by Seattle. Didn't see who had the poke check, but Gunther clearly winding up for one from the bottom of the left side dot and just passed right to him. Poke check disturbed that shot entirely. Be a left side draw in the Utah end. 59 seconds left on the Utah power play. One back by Utah. Sergachev now with it in the left side corner of his own zone. Tolvanen back for pressure. Utah breaking up out of their own zone. Keller with it, trying to cut in over to Hayden left side. Doubles this one back down to the line for Sergachev. Back to Gunther. Keller now with it right side. Sergachev back to Gunther. Won't take the shot though. Back to Sergachev at the point. Gunther now deep with it left side corner. 27 seconds left in the Utah power play. Back down to Sergachev. Back to Keller right point now with it. Deep for Hayton. Back to Keller right side. 15 seconds now. Schmaltz moving down right to the slot with it. Cutting to the right side. Jumps this one for Sergachev. Trying to find a tip there from Keller. Schmaltz pick it right back up. Schmaltz along the right side boards. 3 seconds left in the power play. Gunther looking for one. Bouncing puck. Won't take the shot. Keeps control. Sergachev throws this one to the net. And that one's saved by Grubauer and dumped all the way down to the Utah end. That will be an icing. Excellent defense there by Seattle on that penalty kill. Just not able to do much for Utah there. Only getting one shot during that entire power play sequence. 5:35 left in the first now. Shots now sitting 7-2 in favor of Seattle. So while they may have moved pieces like Gordon Bjorkstrand, they're proving that they can still play spoiler just fine. Right side draw on the Seattle end. Dunn will be the first to grab it, trying to clear this one out right side. Both teams fighting for it right in front of the benches. Utah will poke this one back down in their own zone. This one whistled dead cert. Not Sergachev. Dursey shaken up after a hit along the boards. Hopefully he is all right there. Looks fine, skating around on his own. Actually, it'll be because of a penalty that one is blown dead as well, but point still stands. Dursey a little shaken up there after a hit. Regardless, Utah not able to capitalize on the power play, so we'll see if they can get anything going in this last 5.5. Though they will have to kill off a penalty first. Seattle up 1-0 against Utah. You're listening to Utah Seattle on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. Be back after the short commercial break. 5:25 left in the first. Utah going to have to kill off another penalty in the first here. Stenlin taking a 2-minute high sticking against Kako. See if they can get something going afterwards here in the last, what is that, about 3.5? Good news if you're Utah. Colorado now 2-0 against Calgary, so the only saving grace is at least if Calgary doesn't win tonight and Seattle does end up the victor, at least you're not, moving up or down standings wise. Left side draw, Utah and Seattle on the power play. Hayton and Beniers on the draw. We'll try this one a second time. Finally, he'll get this one drop. Tied up at the dot, pokes back down to Montour, left side point with it. Cuts up the left side corner. Back down the left side point. Quick pass across to Newman, right point, or right side with it. Down in the slot. Newman back with it. Long pass across the left side there. Seattle in control. Back down to Newman. Throws this one to the net. That one saved by Vejmelka. Kind of odd position there, but able to make the save. 5:05 left in the first, minute 41 left in the Seattle power play now. Seattle doing everything right on this power play opportunity. They're dragging the Utah defenders kind of way past where they should be, not keeping that formation in front. Able to give Newman a few seconds there to take that shot. Give him a sec, pick where he wants to shoot, slow down, not overthink things. Right side draw now, tied up the dot, will end up left side. Nobody there. Sergachev, Eberle race for it. Hayden able to keep control, trying to chip it out. Ends up in front with it, though. Montour back down the line with it. Deep is Eberle, trying to find Beniers in front. Whiffs on the shot entirely. Newman right side with it. Dancing with it, looking for anything. Back down to Montour. Back down to Newman. Back to Montour. Right point with it now. Pass across to Stevenson. He'll keep control of it. Left side up to Beniers. Now at the left side point. Cuts up the left side boards. Dumps this one back down to Stevenson. Montour in the slot with it. Newman right back to him. A little give and go between them. Newman will end up with it. Tied up along the right side board. Both teams digging away at it. 50 seconds left in the Seattle power play. Ends up free. Utah will clear this one all the way back down. 4:05 left in the first. Utah doing great on the penalty kill so far. We'll see if Seattle can get something going here. Right, moving up the right side boards. Vejmelka, he'll push this one right side corner. Marino able to grab it, looking to clear, and he will. 30 seconds left in the Seattle power play now. Grubauer, he'll leave this one behind the net for Tolvanen, I believe. Regardless, chip to the left side corner. Model will get to it first. Trying to clear this one out, not able to. Poke the right side boards. It'll be Dunn that keeps this one in. He's the one had the entrance earlier. Quick pass across to Kako, not able to hold that puck down, though. 2 seconds. That penalty is killed off. Kako along the right side boards with it, looking for something from an angle. He'll throw in front, looking for a tip, won't find it. Stenlin, fresh from the box, he'll pick it up, cutting up the right side. He's got Schmaltz with him. Right, great defense there. Throws it. Schmaltz able to put that one in. Great effort there by Stenlin. Makes up for the penalty he took. Fresh from the box, cuts up the right side. Right, additionally, with great defense there, forces him just throw this one to the front. Schmaltz able to pick that puck up, puts that one right into the back of the net. Utah now tied up at 1. Yeah, cuts up with it. Right, does poke check him off the puck for a second there. Great effort by him. But still able to keep control. Gets it right past Dunn. I don't even think Dunn knew that Schmaltz was even there. And just Grubauer not able to get over in time. Empty net for Schmaltz there. He's not going to miss that shot. Schmaltz, his 16th of the season. Stenlin with the assist, his 8th. Tied up with 3 left to go in the first. Doan circling neutral ice. He'll dump this one back to the Utah end. Long pass back to him. He'll chip it up to prevent the icing. Seattle will get to it first. It'll be Larson trying to push this one out right side. Utah will fight to keep it in. It'll be Keller that picks it up in neutral ice, dumping it right back to the Seattle end. Dunn will get to it first. They'll blow that one dead for a high sticking, I believe, but not the penalty. Just the standard high sticking, yep. 2:45 left in the first. Now, shots, though Utah has tied it up, shots sitting 8-3 in favor of Seattle. Additionally, Utah having to call off 2 penalties so far in this first. So as it stands now, you just look and see, hey, it's tied up, but not the start you want if you're Utah. Right side draw, Seattle end. Hayton and somebody on the draw. Can't see who, and they cut away. Awesome. Believe it was Beniers on the draw for Seattle. Regardless of who it is, yes, it was Beniers. They win it back, trying to cut this one up their neutral ice. It'll take a bounce. Schwartz trying to get to it. It'll end up to Dersey, right side corner of his own zone, chipping this one out along the right side boards. Montour will push it right back in, but taken away by Kerfoot. Trying to chip this one up to Gunther, not able to hold the pass down though. Kaka will pick it up instead. Chip there by Kerfoot, trying to keep that one in the zone. Will for a second, but ends up not mattering. Montour, left side dot in his own zone, trying to push this one up the boards quickly. That one will end up icing on Seattle. 2:12 left in the first now. Tied up at 1 shot, sitting 8-3 in favor of Seattle. Looking at some of the other stats here, really just a dominant Seattle period. The one that sticks out to me, hits 10-4 in favor of Seattle so far. Utah, not a very physical team, but still, with both O'Brien and Carcone in the lineup tonight, you'd hope that at least, a little better than normal. Left side draw, Seattle end. Schmaltz and somebody on the draw. Can't see who. Ref's in the way. Tied up at the dot. We'll try this one again. I believe Tolvanen is the one on the draw. Eventually, we'll get this one dropped. Finally, we will. Schmaltz win this one back right to Keller. Tries to take the shot, not able to. Sergachev takes one. That one goes wide. Keller dumping this one around, trying to find Cooley behind the net. That one taken away by Seattle. Looking to clear it up, and out they will. Motto will grab it in neutral ice, doubling back to his own zone. Quick little pass up to Keller. He'll chip this one over to Schmaltz, right at the right side of the Seattle end. Won't matter. Montour will get to it first, deep in his own end. Looking to clear, catches the skate there of his teammate Alexiak. Utah able to keep it in. They'll ring this one around. Mata moving deep to keep it in. Back down to Cooley at the line. Sergachev faking a shot. He'll take the second attempt there, but catches the body of Eberle. He'll pick it right back in neutral ice. Utah almost exits the zone in time. Barely. That one will be offsides. Minute 28 left in the first now. Much better effort from Utah on that offensive drive there than some of the previous ones. If they can keep that momentum moving into the second, it'll be crucial for them. Should be left side draw outside the Seattle zone. Yes, it will. It'll be Stenlin and McCann on the draw. Tied up the dot. Utah trying to push this one in. Smartly, O'Brien. He'll dump this one back to the Utah end. Cole, he'll get to it first. Utah trying to get this one in right side. It'll end up behind the net. Grubauer will grab it first, pushing this one around to Fleury. Utah able to keep it in at the line. Cole looking to throw this one in front. Catches, I believe, Carcone there. And Seattle back up the other way. Long pass up for Newman. Stenlin will get to it first. Pushing this one around. Fleury right to him. Throws this one to the net. And Vamelka, he'll hold for the save. 58.7 left in the first. Shots currently sitting 4-9 in favor of Seattle. Very dominant period shots-wise by Seattle. I believe for the first good few minutes, 7-1, I believe, in favor of Seattle. So very dominant from him. Utah catching a lucky break to tie this one up. Right side draw in the Utah zone. Once we cut away from Vamelka, there we go. Be Wright and Hayton on the draw. Tied up the dot. Utah able to get this one up and out of their own zone. It's McBain with it, chipping this one to the Seattle end. Would have been on net. So no icing anyway, but too close it wouldn't have mattered. Utah trying to push this one around right side, ultimately up and out of play. 46.3 left in the first now. We'll definitely be interested to see how Utah goes coming into the second. They definitely did not start this game on time, so hopefully if they can build on let's try that again. Build on the momentum they have in these last few seconds here, and then carry that, because Seattle owned most of that period. Staying out of the box will be crucial as well. Having to kill off 2 penalties is not what you want. Quick shot off the face-off there. A couple jabs of the net. That one out, stays out for Seattle. Great effort there by Utah to try and get one in the dying seconds here. Doan, quick pass across to Keller, I believe, or Kesselring. He'll keep this one out. Doan back with it, trying to get a tip in front. That one tipped wide. It'll be Larson with it, trying to move this one out right side. Utah fighting to keep it in. Ultimately, it will take a bounce into the Seattle bench. 20.7 left in the first now. Speaking of momentum, great effort there by Utah right off the draw. We'll see on the replay here, yeah. One, Grubauer's not able to grab it. A second chance there, ends up wide. Asemont able to keep this one out just for a second there. And then finally cleared to the middle of the ice. So great effort there by Utah to not give up in these last few seconds here. Just get something, throw it at the net. It's a problem they've had many times this season. A very pass-first team. There's 40 seconds left in the period. Just throw things to the net. You never know what might happen. Case in point, almost have another one going in. See if they do that again. Right side draw, tied up the dot, looking for another one. Throws this one to the slot. Mata throws this one to the net. That one saved away by Grubauer. 10 seconds now. Seattle back up the other way, looking for one. Quick pass around to Kakko. Can't quite hold it. Montour looking to throw this one to the net. Barely stays in play there as it taps the top of the glass. Cooley and Keller back up the other way. Not able to throw that one on net in time. And that will be the end of the first. Shots now sitting 9-6 in favor of Seattle. So definitely fixing that deficit in those last few minutes there. But overall, a very dominant Seattle period. We'll see if they can regain that momentum they had in the beginning, or if Utah can build on that last few seconds there. Maybe get something early in the second. We'll see what happens. 20 played, 40 still left to go. And looking at the Colorado score real quick. End of the second for them, up 2-0 against the Flames. So Utah in pretty good standings right now. As it stands, tied up at 1. You're listening to Utah Seattle on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. Be back in about 15 for the second. Welcome back as we're ready to start the second period, all tied up at 1. Stats before we head into the second. Shots currently sitting at 9-6 in favor of Seattle. Faceoffs 14-9 in favor of Utah. Utah 0 for 1 on the power play in the first, and Seattle 0 for 2. Hits 11-4 in favor of Seattle. Block shots 4-1 in favor of Seattle. Though they dominated the first, I'd say half or third of that period, Utah battled back, killed off 2 penalties, and ultimately gets the tying goal after Seattle opens scoring, I believe, in the first minute. But after that, Utah playing a much better game, just not starting it on time. I guess we'll see if they can carry the momentum they had ending the second into the or ending the second, ending the first into the second, because those last 40 seconds they had to have at least I think 3-4 shots trying to pepper Grubauer, see if they can slide one in before period's end. However, regardless, tied up at 1. Colorado last I looked up 2-0 against. Now up 2-1 against Calgary, so they're not going to go down without a fight in this race for the second wild card spot. Opening draw, one back by Seattle, trying to push up left side boards. Utah will dump it in quickly, though. Hayton racing for it. Montour will be first to get it, trying to wrap it around. Kerfoot will grab it, pushing it back in front. Takes a couple bounces right back to him, left side corner. Gunther circling that left side with it. Great defense there by Montour, trying to throw this to Marino in front. This one called dead. We'll see what for. Will be a penalty on the play, I assume, on Seattle. 2 minutes hooking on Schwartz, it looks like. So Utah with a golden opportunity here, heading to the power play early. 19:34 left in the second. If Utah's going to want to carry this momentum into the second, this is the opportunity. Left side draw, one back by Utah. Sergachev circling with it. Back to Keller. Gets this one back to Sergachev. To the slot. Gunther, quick shot. That one saved away by Grubauer, not able to grab it first. They'll end up left side corner. Seattle will clear this one down to the Utah end. 1:40 now left in the Utah power play. Good effort to win that puck moving along the line with ease. Just they need to get that re-entry and hold it. They've had problems with that in the past. Schmaltz cutting up quickly. He'll push this to the left side for Gunther. Gunther trying to cut up with it. Not Gunther. Hayton, the one to cut up with it. Back to Sergachev. Now Gunther with it. Keller trying to chip this one into the slot quickly for Schmaltz. Won't find it. Back to Sergachev. Gunther, another one. Takes a bounce right to Keller, though. Schmaltz right in the front with it. Right into the glove of Grubauer. He'll hold for the save. 18:43, 1:10 now left in the Utah power play. Some great puck movement. This is exactly what you want to see. They're moving it quickly, much like Seattle did on their couple power play attempts. Right side draw, one back by Utah, tied up the dot a little bit though. Keller, he'll push this to the left to the right side corner. Schmaltz racing to grab. Larson as well. Gunther back around to that corner for Cooley, trying to throw this one in front. Nobody there but Seattle. And they'll move this one up out of the zone. McCann, he's got Beniers with him. McCann right to the net. Gloved away by Vamilka, not able to hold this one down though. Sergachev pressured by McCann, but ultimately he backs off as they go for a change. 40 seconds left in the Utah power play now. 18:10 left in the second. Here's Keller cutting up the middle with it. Pass across to Gunther at the right side point with it. At the line, back to Keller, trying to cut up into the slot. Dursey now out on the ice, finds him right side with it. Dancing, Keller fakes a shot into the slot there for Schmaltz, trying to dive and keep this one in the zone. Ultimately, a failed effort. 10 seconds left. Dursey back behind his own net. 17:42 left in the second now. Dursey cutting up the middle, trying to get this one over to Krause. Ultimately won't do that, and that killed off. That penalty killed off for Seattle. Marino back behind his own net, gets this one up to McBain. McBain cutting out right side, drops this one back down to Marino. He'll launch this one in right side. Rung to the left side corner. Both teams digging away at it. Utah in control. McBain can't quite do much with it. Can't get that one back to Dome, but great tip back into the Seattle zone by Utah. Ultimately a failed effort. Burakovsky trying to move this one out through neutral ice. Back up the other way. McBain now with it. Tied up along the left side boards. It'll be Fleury who tries to push this one around. Ultimately out of the zone there. Here's Newman up the other way. Too much pressure by him. He'll throw this one to the right side for Fleury. He's got right deep with it. Chips this one around the boards for Burakovsky. Back to Newman in the left side corner. Back down to the right side point for Montour. Finds Newman deep right. Back to Newmore. Back to Montour. Ultimately can't keep this one in the zone. Grubauer, he'll hold this one back behind his own net. Left for Montour. Montour back in his own zone, trying to chip this one up along the right side boards. Ends up to Cole, not able to clear. Kakko will keep it in. Looking for a quick pass in front to Montour, not able to get that backhand in time. Kesselring able to push him off the puck. Here's Kakko back with it. Back to Montour, back down to the point. Big shot there by Dunn. That one goes wide. Kakko pushing this one to the right side boards. Montour back with it. Trying to get this one around. It'll be Stenlund that takes this one away. Trying to get it to O'Brien. Both teams digging away at it along the right side boards. O'Brien still trying to clear this one out of the zone. Utah will on the second attempt. Back up the other way. Here comes McBain. 2-on-1 if they're quick. Back up to Carcone. Quick pass. Shoulder save away by Grubauer. Great effort there. Back up the other way now. Beniers trying to cut in with it. Loses control of the puck. Would have had a beautiful opportunity to cut up the right side into the zone. Not able to. Seattle dump this one across to the left side. Ultimately, it'll be Marino who grabs it left side dot in his own zone. Launching this one up through neutral ice. Gunther not able to hold that one down. Asamont chips this one up to Stevenson. Back down to the line for Seattle. Leave Larson finds Alexiak just a little too wide in the left side corner. Both teams digging away. Hayton will find Sergachev in front with it. And Seattle, Utah back up the other way. It's Kerfoot cutting in over the line. Drops this one for Gunther. Shoots at the net. That one goes wide. Kerfoot will keep this in. Just for a second, though, dumps this one back to Asamont. Cutting up with it, can't quite do much in front. Eberle, right in the slot, throws this one to the net, goes wide. Vemilka trying to reach out and make that save. Ultimately, doesn't matter. Motto will clear this one down to the Seattle end. Alexiak, he'll chip this one up to Newman. Push behind the Utah net. McCann, now back with it. Back to the right side boards for Alexiak. That one stripped away by Schmaltz. Back up the other way he goes. Chipped away to Cooley. Passed a little high, though. Schmaltz trying to get it to Keller behind the net. Back to him in the left side corner. Dumped around. It'll end up to Kesselring. Along the right side point. Can't do much with it. He'll throw this one to Cooley now. Tied for it in the right side corner. McCann fighting to get this one out of his zone. Finally, he will, but can't do much with it. Keller, he'll chip this one around. Grubauer out of his net. Just behind it. He'll try and chip this one out right side. Utah fighting to keep it in again. Keller right at the line with it. Throws this one deep. Ends up just out of play. 13:50. A beautiful effort there by Utah. Excellent effort to keep that in the Seattle zone as long as possible. Just couldn't get that one in the back of the net. Still tied up at 1. You're listening to listening to Utah Seattle on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. 13:50, I believe, left in the second. I would confirm, but of course, shocker, the NHL app is a little drunk at the moment. Utah with an excellent offensive effort on those last 5, 6 minutes there after killing off the penalty. A few shorthanded rushes back up the other way, or a few odd man rushes against Seattle there. Ultimately, just couldn't get that one in the back of the Seattle net, but in the zone, and that's what matters. Hopefully, tiring Seattle out enough they can catch Grubauer kind of off in just the slightest spot. See what happens. Right side draw in the Seattle zone will be McBain and somebody on the draw. Can't see, ref's in the way. Believe right, the one on the draw there. Regardless, one back by Utah. Doan trying to throw this one in front of the net. Won't be able to. Cartier, the one to chip this one to the Utah line, and that one will be an icing on them. 13:42 now left in the second. Back to the Seattle zone we go. Additionally, with more tired Seattle skaters. Although Utah keeping the same line out there, so not too crazy an advantage. Shot sitting 10-9 in favor of Seattle, so definitely Utah making up that deficit. Right side draw again, one back by Utah, pushed out of the zone by Seattle. Chip down to Mata this time, not an icing, moving this one out quickly. Chipped all the way down to the Seattle zone, and instead will be an icing on Utah this time. It's back down to the Utah zone we go for the face-off. 13:31 left in the second. And the app is still broken. Shocker. Utah playing a much better second than they did a first. Just could not get started on time. So to see them come out of the second swinging like this is extraordinary. Left side draw in the Utah zone. One back by Seattle, pushed to the line. It'll be Alexiak with it now. Pass across the right side. Had Montour, but instead chooses to push this one deep. Back behind the net for Beniers. McBain with a big hit on him. Jersey will pick this up along the right side boards and clears this one all the way down. Kraus, after a couple bounces off himself there, able to get this one deep in the Seattle end. Doan, he'll dump this one back to McBain. Kraus throws this one to the net, goes wide. Kept in line by Mata. Doan, he'll ring this one all the way around, or at least he'll try to. Caught by Seattle in the right side corner. Beniers back up the other way. Kakko, he'll push it the right side corner. Mata trying to chip this one out right side. Ultimately pushed along the right side boards just for Utah to push it right back to that corner. McBain, he'll take a sec. He'll find Doan moving up out of the zone. Now Mata with it. Pushes this one in right side. Utah going for a change here. 12:35 left in the second now. Stevenson not able to hold that puck down. Dunn tries. Utah back up the other way quickly. Carcone in the slot for Marino. Backhand tipped in front, and Seattle scores. Wrong team entirely. Utah taking the lead 2-1. Beautiful effort there. Utah finally, after the tremendous offense they've got in the second, finds the back of the net. Beautiful tip in front there. We'll see who got that one. But just Seattle not able to clear that one into the Utah end. Carcone cuts back up the other way, finds Marino, beautiful little backhand. Believes Stenlin, the one right in the right place, right time, puts that one in. Was Stenlin there? And the app is still broken. Of course it is. Regardless, that one, Carcone and Marino with the assists, Stenlin with the goal. Not sure on numbers, as the app's, well, we'll figure it out later. Regardless, Utah up 2-1. Opening draw, one back by them. Pushed into their own end as Seattle tries to get some offense there. Delayed penalty on Seattle, I believe. Not sure here. We'll see in a second. 12:14 left in the second. It's either Eberle going to the box or Marino, and my guess is Eberle. Although they won't show exactly. Nope, no penalty on the play there. To be honest, I have no clue what offsides, I guess, or a very close icing. One of the two. Regardless, left side draw in the in the Seattle end. Kerfoot and Stevenson on the draw. Yeah, it had to have been an icing. That's the only thing that makes sense there. Utah wins this one back. Now Marino right side point with it. Finds Gunther, throws this one to the net. That one goes wide. Looking for a rebound there. It's Kerfoot. He won't find that. Tolvanen looks to push this one up out of his own zone, dumped around by Seattle. Vamelko looks to slow, not able to. Eberle, he'll push this one back to the right side corner of the Utah end. Gunther will get to it first, trying to clear. Tolvanen will keep it in instead. Push deep. Now Eberle looking for a centering feed to Stevenson. Won't find. Done. Back to Stevenson, left side with it. Back down the line. Shot. That one hits a body in front. I believe Larson, the one to put that one on net. Eberle in the right side corner. Back down the line for Larson. Eberle trying to find Tolvanen. That one taken away by Cole. Looking to clear, but kept in by Seattle. Tolvanen, he'll push this one down the left side point. See if anything different changes on that attempt. Done. Pushing this one deep. Tied up along the boards. Kerfoot, the one to take this one away. He'll dump this right side corner of the, or right side point of the Utah zone. They'll move this one up out of their own zone. Whistled dead. I believe that might have hit the bench and then bounced into play there. So should be an outside the zone face-off, I believe, but we'll see in a second. Regardless, 11:15 left in the second. Shots tied up at 10. Yep, that's, I believe, what happened there. Just hits the bench and bounces back in. Right side draw outside the Utah end. They'll win it back. Trying to move this one around their own zone. Now Cooley with it. Pressured. Bad dump there. Right to Montour. Has all the time in the world. He'll get this one deep. Back down to the point for Alexiak. Throws this one to the net. That one takes a bounce away. Newman trying to get this one back to Montour. That one poked away by Schmaltz. Great effort there. Cooley, he'll rush this one out of the Utah end. Dump the right side corner. Alexiak, he'll push it around left side for Burakovsky. Bad pass by him. Cooley able to pick that one off. Catches an edge. Cooley moving up with it, trying to get a tip there from Schmaltz. Won't find it. Kesselring throws one to the net, and that one saved away by Grubauer. Both teams, a ton of giveaways so far in the game so far. But it was mostly Utah through the first, and so far it's been Seattle in the second. So not exactly what you want to see if you're either team, but the only silver lining, both teams doing a great job at capitalizing on those turnovers. So as long as they can if they keep happening, they keep happening. It just depends on how you respond to them. Right side draw in the Seattle end. It'll be Stenlin. Nope, it won't. Kicked out of the dot. It'll be O'Brien and Wright on the face-off. Tied up the dot. Seattle will take this one around. It'll be Fleury with it. 10.5 left in the second. Cutting up right side. Dumps this one around for Wright. Back to Fleury. Tries to throw this one from an angle. Dursey will chip up into the left side corner instead. O'Brien trying to race for it. Ultimately gets dumped to the right side boards. Seattle there first. Trying to cut in front with it. Takes a bounce back behind the Utah net. O'Brien will grab it along the left side boards. Looking to clear, and he will. Carcone, pass over to Stenlin, cutting up the right side, back down to the slot. Utah doubling back with it. Dursey can't quite get a shot. Tries to throw a backhand at the net. Won't find it. Carcone looks to keep this one in. Instead, Seattle will dump this one all the way back down, and that one an icing on them. 9:53 left in the second now. What do you say at this point? It's a tremendous effort from Utah so far. The fact that this is not how they started the game is the main point, I guess. Just seeing this offensive effort, if this is how they've been playing over the last few, this is the Utah team that during the beginning of the year would play great on the road and then couldn't find that style at home. And it hopefully seems like they've turned it around that Ducks game and then continuing that play. See if that consistency stays true. Was a left side draw in the Seattle zone. Utah not able to do much. Seattle in the neutral zone trying to push this one in, lend up to Vamelka behind his own net. He'll push this one around right side. Doan will get to it first. Kakko will push this one around instead. Right to Beniers, trying to dump it back to Kakko, taken away by Sergachev. Nice little pass there to McBain, chipping this one up to Doan. Doan up out of the zone with speed, pressured by Schwartz. He'll chip this one to the corner. Grubauer, he'll get behind his net out to the left side corner. Looking for a long pass up to up to Schwartz. Seattle won't find it in Utah. Back up the other way. It's Kesselring cutting in with it. Long reach there, thrown to the net, but that one catches the edge of a stick there up into the netting. Play blown dead. Exactly 9 left to go. Utah taking a 2-1 lead off a beautiful little give and go tap play there. and ultimately just all Utah this period so far. We'll see if Seattle can gain that momentum back in the back nine here, or if Utah will just keep up this pressure through the second and hopefully the rest of the game. Listening to Utah Seattle on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. 9 minutes exactly left to play in the second, taking a 2-1 lead. Utah all offense so far as the app seems to have fixed itself. There we go. Stellan with the second Utah goal finally having this updated. His ninth of the season. Marino and Carconi with the assists, their eighth and ninth respectively. Additionally, better news for Utah. Currently 4:56 left in the Colorado-Calgary game. Colorado comfortably up 3-1. Well, I guess I shouldn't say comfortably. There's definitely tons of time in 5 minutes to score two. But that's not this game. That's a different concern for Utah. Right side draw in the Seattle zone. Utah will take this, or let's try that again. Utah tries to get something there. Seattle will take it up out of their own zone instead. Tied up in the right side corner, both teams digging away. Seattle trying to push it back down the line, and they will. Larson chips this one around for Asamont, trying to get it to Dunn. Ultimately, it will be Eberle that keeps this one in at the line. Or Tolvanen, not Asamont. Dunn in the left side corner, trying to get fancy with it. Ultimately, ends up back to the right side, thrown in front, and Utah will clear this one out through neutral ice. Hayden trying to push this one into the Seattle end, but super offsides there. So that one blown dead. 8:21 left in the second now. Shot setting 11-10 in favor of Utah. And looking at the second, now that it's updated, 5-1 in favor of Utah. So don't be surprised if in the last few minutes Seattle gets something together. We have a reversal of the first, not uncommon in Utah games. Burakovsky, left side of the Utah zone, pushes them back down the line for Alexiak. Throws this one in front, trying to find Newman there is the rebound. Seattle looking to push this one in. Catches Keller right in the chest, though, so he'll move this one into the Seattle zone with ease. McCann on the right side corner trying to push this one out. Launching this one, a long pass up to Montord. That one stripped away from him. Cooley, big open ice hit there. Ultimately gets this one to the right side. Will be Schmaltz with it, pushing to the left side corner. This one stripped away from him. Seattle back up the other way. It's Burakovsky trying to move up with it. Schmaltz almost takes that one away from him. Doesn't on the second attempt there. Newman rushing up the left side, cuts in front. That one blocked away by Vejmelka. It looked like, catches the body in front. Doesn't matter. McCann looking to set Newman up in front. Both teams taking away. Back to McCann. Now down at the line. Throws this one at the net. Looking for a tip. Tips right into the glove of Vejmelka. He'll hold for the save. 7:21 left in the second now. McCann with that big hit on Cooley. Great effort by him to, push him off the puck. He doesn't see him, or Cooley just doesn't even see him coming. Keller with a little hit back there. Good to see some fight in the team, stand up for each other, especially when hits are, good Christ, when hits are 17-7 in favor of Seattle. I knew it wasn't looking good. I didn't realize it was that bad. Utah, not a physical team, and that goes to show. Regardless, right side draw in the Utah end. One back by Seattle. Big shot there by Larson. Catches a couple bodies, ends up in the right side corner. McBain trying to clear this one out. Seattle will keep it in. Kako right side. Trying to get this one to Schmaltz. He'll cut in front himself. That one saved by Vejmelka. Puck free in the crease. Both teams digging away at it. Finally blown dead. Vejmelka keeps that one out of the net. Just enough. 7:07 left in the second. Great effort by Kako on the right side corner. Gets this one back. He sees he has Schmaltz, but not Schmaltz. Sees he has Schwartz and figures, I'm going to cut to the front, and if I can find him in front, maybe I can get a tip there. But also, if I can just cut in from the line, maybe I can put this one in up close, right up top. Maybe I can move this one back down. Draw everybody to the net. Great effort by him. Ultimately, Vejmelka will keep this one out just enough for Utah to keep that 2-1 lead. 7:07 left side in the Utah zone. They'll win it back. Dursey looking to clear this one out with speed. Kept in by Mahura, though. Right back to him. I'll leave this one around for Mata. Looking to push this one out left side for McBain. Or for Carcone. Doesn't matter. Back up the other way with it. Trying to get this one to Stenlund. Bounces back to Dursey. Thrown at the net. That one takes a bounce wide. Carcone fighting for it behind the Seattle net. Pushes this one back down the line for Dursey. Winds up. Takes a shot. That one catches a couple bodies there. And Veneer's able to move this one back up the other way. He's got Kako with him. Right in front there for Mahura. Takes a shot. That one saved away by Vejmelka. Carcone looking to rush up the other way. Get this one to O'Brien. Chooses to dump this one around the boards. Right to Mahura. He'll clear this one out to neutral ice. Utah goes for change. Seattle as well. Sergachev chips this one up into the zone. Utah. Larson trying to get out with it. Kerfoot throws this one in front to Gunther. That one saved away by Grubauer. Back to Kerfoot. Now Marino down at the line. He's got Gunther. Winds up. Takes the shot. That one saved away by Grubauer. Back down at the line is Sergachev. Now Marino right side. Sergachev left. Gunther cutting into the slot. He'll leave this one back for Sergachev. Throws this one to the net. Looking for a quick rebound in front. Grubauer makes all the saves he needs to and holds it down for the save. 5:45 left in the second now as we head back to commercial, but great effort from Utah on these last few attempts here. Seattle as well getting that offense going again after being stagnant through that first half of the period. Good to see them spring to life that they had, similar to the one they had in the beginning of the period. Regardless, Utah keeps that 2-1 lead. See if Seattle can do anything in this last 5 of the second, or if Utah either adds the lead or, bare minimum, holds it down. Listening to Utah Seattle on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. .546 left in the second. Utah up 2-1. Looking again on the replay here, the one that looked like Vejmelka had saved it away actually hit the bar. And Gunther's also hit the bar. So 2 chances both teams had to take the lead and extend it. Saved by good old crossbar. See if Seattle had a bit of pressure coming out of before the commercial. We'll see if they can continue that moving into the final 5 and 40-ish of the second here. If Utah can maybe pick up a second one here, we'll just have to wait and see. Left side draw in the Seattle zone, thrown right at Grubauer from Seattle themselves. Utah will keep this one in. Schmaltz trying to throw this one in front, tipped just down and wide. Grubauer trying to reach out to glove this one, not able to. Luckily for Seattle, cleared out to neutral ice. Right to Utah, though. They'll dump this one back in. Chipped around to the left side corner now, Seattle. It's Stevenson now, moving up out of his own zone, trying to cut in front. That one taken away by Schmaltz. Can't quite keep control of it as he pushes up the left side. Back to Cooley. He'll cut up in the zone with it instead. Cutting to the slot, doubles to the left side of it. Throws it to the net. Not able to do much with it. Doan will dump it back to him, but he can't get a pass in front to Keller. Seattle back up the other way. Eberle pressured off the puck. Over to Kessering. He'll find Doan along the left side boards. Quick pass out of the zone as he's pressured along the boards as well. McBain cutting up to the net. That one, simple little pad save away by Grubauer. Trying to get it to Doan, not able to. Seattle up out of their own zone with it. Catches a skate of Krause. Not able to get as far as they wanted. Cartier will chip it in right side, though. Utah push it right back out. Alexiak will get to it first. Great pressure there by Utah. Stenlin the one, or McBain the one there. Asamont, right side of the Utah zone, chips this one deep. Back round for Cartier. Alexiak over to, believe, Montour there. Doesn't matter as that shot is thrown towards the net and takes a bounce to the left side corner. Both teams digging away at it. Kessering will grab it first. Doan will push this one to the right side boards. Asamont trying to dig this one out of the corner. Ultimately pushed back down to Montour. Along the right side point, trying to throw this one to the slot. Facing the wrong way, though, is Cartier, so can't do much with it, and then doesn't pick up the pass from Montour. A little frustrated as he heads to the bench. Vejmelka behind his own net. 3:45 left in the second now. Kessering tries to chip this one up into the zone. He'll get it to the into the Seattle end, but can't do much with it. Burakovsky now back in the zone end. Long chip pass up by Seattle. That one ends up an icing on them. So back down to the Seattle zone we go for the faceoff. 3:33 left in the second now. Shot setting 14-13 in favor of Utah. Much better effort coming out of the commercial from Seattle there to keep that one in the Utah end. Fight for it much similar in a similar manner to how they had in the beginning of the first. Just couldn't quite keep that momentum. Right side draw outside the Utah end. Seattle pushes this one in, ends up to the right side corner. Burakovsky trying to dig this one out. Ultimately, it will be Mata. Although taken away by Newman, Seattle back in control. Burakovsky tied up along those left side boards. Utah trying to press out with it. It'll be Carcone that does. Chip deep to the right side corner. Ends up for Grubauer. He'll try and chip this one out. Takes a bounce right to Newman, though, as he was hoping to get that one further, but Seattle in control, so can't complain. Beniers, long pass across the left side, disrupted by O'Brien. Mata gets a pass to him. He'll push this one out right side. Carcone will chip this one. Dunn able to grab it back in his own zone. Larson now with it. 2:45 left in the second. Here's Dunn cutting up the middle of the ice. Gets this one to Schwartz. Right side corner. Back down to Dunn behind the net. Cuts the left side corner now with it. Wraps this one around. Schwartz trying to throw this one in front of Kakko. Can't quite hold that pass down, though. Gunther, he'll chip this one out and back to the Seattle end. Dunn looking to push this one up quickly. It's Beniers cutting up the left side with speed, trying to throw a pass. He'll get this one to Schmaltz, but too deep to get a shot on net. Back to Larson at the right side point. Throws this one with speed, takes a couple bounces up over the net for Utah. Luckily there. Here they come back up the other way. It's Hayton with it. Cutting to the middle. He'll pass one left side for Gunther right into the glove of Grubauer. He holds for the save. 2:01 now left in the second. As they flashed on the screen during the rush there, the Colorado game final 4-2 in favor of Colorado. So if Utah can win tonight, I believe they have tie holder. I believe they have a tiebreaker over Calgary to take that top playoff spot, the second wild card. Although still about 15 to 17 games for both to play. Still plenty of time for things to change, but for Utah to even get back in, I'm sure we'll drive them the rest of tonight. With the left side draw in the Seattle zone, Utah not able to do much with it. They'll try on the second entry here. Thrown to the net right on Grubauer. He'll hold for the simple save. Minute 50 left in the second. Let me check the standings just to confirm. 30. No, it doesn't look like they would have tie breaker, but they would be tied for that second wild card spot, which is closer than they've been anytime over the past little bit. And then especially going into Vancouver on Sunday, a critical game they're going to need to win. That's a problem for Sunday. Let's focus on now. Left side draw on the Seattle end, trying to do something with it, but ultimately dumped out to neutral ice. Keller trying to chip this one back up quickly. Will end up to Alexiak, and Cooley trying to dig for it. Montour behind his own net will push this one along the right side boards. Both digging at it. Takes a bounce to neutral ice. Keller will get to it first. Eberle able to take this one away, though. Keller will poke check him off the puck. Tolvanen coming in to help, poking this one back down the line for Alexiak. He'll smartly move this one back to neutral ice. Looking for a re-entry here. Tolvanen throws this one to the right side for Eberle. Minute 07. Trying to throw this one in front. Takes a bounce and it ends up in. Montour, just right place, right time. That one thrown to the front of the net by Eberle. This one tied up at 2. See on the replay here how exactly that one tipped in. If that was intentional or not is another question. Yeah, just Eberle at the right side, right at the red line. Oh, yeah, just throws this one into the front of the net, hoping for anything. Oh, wow. Takes a couple bounces off the skates of both Montour and Marino. No distinct kicking motion from either because, frankly, neither knew that was going in. So just a bit of luck, and that's all it takes sometimes. Seattle ties this one up at 2. Montour, his 16th of the year. Eberle and Tolvanen, the assists, their 11th and 12th, respectively. Wouldn't be a Utah game without a tying goal in the last minute. Utah back in the Seattle end, trying to do something with it. Can't. Here's Schwartz trying to gut up through neutral ice. Won't be able to. Dumps this one back to Dunn. Trying a second attempt here. Beniers will chip this one up to prevent the icing. Kessling looks to push this one up along the right side boards. He'll find Kerfoot with it. Takes a bounce deeper into the zone, but ultimately Kessling moves this one out with ease. Launching this one on net. Grubauer, he'll glove this one down and pushing this one to the right side boards. Seattle will then push it left side and up out of their own zone. 20 seconds left in the second. Now Utah will dump this to the far corner, and that one will be an icing on Utah. Go figure. It's a Utah game, so a little quick tying goal in the last minute to put that pressure on them as they head into the third. Although Utah definitely trying to prevent going into the third with a tie. Much more effort in these last few minutes, both in this game and then compared to some of the other ones I've seen. Right side draw in the Utah zone, 20.3. We'll see if we can just end this one quickly, or if Seattle maybe puts one in, gets that pressure really on Utah. Utah did it to Seattle in the first. We'll see what happens. Montour with a quick shot, glove down by Vejmelka from the faceoff. 16.4 left in the second now. In a similar manner to Utah, they just win that one back down to the defenseman. He rips that one from the line and both times saved away. See if they can run it again. Montour looks ready for it. Just have to win the faceoff and go from there. Right side draw, Utah zone, 16.4. McBain, and right on the draw, Utah will win this one around. McCann cutting at the left side point. Montour trying to throw this one to the net. That one goes wide. 5 seconds. Burakovsky back down the line for Dunn. Thrown to the net. Looking for a tip. Tips wide instead. And that will be the end of the second. See both teams get a little chippy here. Sergachev throwing hit a little after the buzzer, but ultimately nothing coming out of it. Although we'll see if that continues into the third. Now tied up at 2. Seattle definitely going to want to put that pressure on Utah, play spoiler. We'll see what happens. Final shots at the end of the second, 17-16 in favor of Utah. Second period, specifically 11-7 Utah. As it stands, tied up at 2, lucky goal for Seattle to tie it, but Stenlin off a beautiful tip and little pass play there takes the lead for Utah. We'll see if they can get that lead back and hopefully keep playing the style they have been. It's been very, very good hockey. Let me try that one again. Right. See if they can keep up the offensive momentum they had in the first half of the second. Much better than anything they had in the first, especially not starting on time. So as long as they can keep that up, force Seattle back into that situation they were at the beginning of the second, and not putting Seattle back in control of the gas, everything should be on a better train track for them. As it stands, Utah 2, Seattle 2. You're listening to Utah Seattle on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. See you back in about 15 for the third. Welcome back. So we're going to start the third period, tied up at 2. Some stats before we head into the third. Shots currently staying 17-15 in favor of Utah, breaking that down by period. 9-6 Seattle in the first, 11-6 Utah in the second. Face-off sitting 28-17 in favor of Utah. Both teams 0 for 2 on the power play. Hits 21-11 in favor of Seattle, and block shots 9-7 in favor of Seattle as well. Off a lucky bounce in the last minute of the second, Seattle ties this up. See if they can keep that momentum they magically gained from that goal moving into the third here, or if Utah, similar to the second, can start out the third on a heater. So remember that start of the second, say the first 11 minutes or so, was really all Utah, all offense. See if they can hopefully get something going here, get that lead back immediately. They cannot give Seattle any pressure or not let them get any pressure moving into the third here, especially with Calgary losing tonight to move into a three-way tie for that second wild card spot is an opportunity they are not going to want to give up. Opening draw of the third. Tied up the dot. Utah will push this one back. Sergachev gives it around to Marino. Up to Gunther. Trying to cut in with it. Force to dump this one wide instead. Montour races to pick it up first, looking to clear it out right side, and he will. Ends up back down to neutralize. Sergachev racing for it. Won't get an icing call. Looks to clear this one right side. Beniers tries to keep it in. Instead bounces this one over to Gunther. Trying to cut in with it. Drop back to the slot. Hayden throws this one to the net. That one saved away by Grubauer. Alexiak will push this to Kakko. Taken away by Kerfoot, though. Running around to Schwartz. Dancing the right side corner with it. Hayden with pressure. Now Kerfoot coming in. He's got Montour to help him as well. Taken away by Hayden. Trying to cut in front with it. Looks to throw in from an angle. That one's saved by Grubauer. And he'll hold. 19-12 left in the third now. Shots now sitting 18-15 in favor of Utah. Utah hoping to swing that momentum back in their favor. Had a few hiccups starting the period. Granted, we are only a minute, not even a minute in. But then getting it right back in the Seattle zone. Fighting to keep that puck in. Pushing it to the outside, keeping it in. That's what you want to see from Utah. Right side draw in the Seattle zone. One back. Jersey, a quick shot. That one goes wide. Can't do much with it, though. Stevenson will get to it first. Schmaltz trying to dig away at it. He'll take a bounce back to him. Trying to throw it to Keller in front. Ends up back to Schmaltz. Down at the line is Mata. Back over to Jersey. Now Cooley. Long pass across to Schmaltz. Goes a bit wide, but he'll pick it up he'll pick it up just fine. Trying to poke this one back down to Jersey as he pinches up with it. Ultimately, Eberle will grab it, and he'll clear this one back to the Utah end. Mata circling his own net now with it. Trying to push it up right side, looking for a tip up into the Seattle zone. Cooley will pick it back up and double it back into his own end. Here's Jersey now with it. Jersey in his own end, chipping this one up to Doan. Races in, throws this one to the net. That one's saved by Grubauer. Not able to hold it down, though. Doesn't matter. Seattle back up the other way with speed. Poke checked right at the line is Burakovsky. That one just barely offsides. 18-13 now left in the third. Doan upset at whatever happened there. Didn't see what. See on the replay here, I believe. Nope, won't see anything there. Goes about as is expected. 18-13 left side draw outside the Utah zone. Seattle will win this one back. Launched in by Fleury. Take a bounce to the left side corner for Kessering. He'll chip this one up to Krause, or at least he'll try to. Pass goes a little wide. Seattle pick it back up in their own end. Pushed up the left side boards. It'll ring around to Cole, and that one will be an icing on Utah, or not on Utah, on Seattle. 17:56 now left in the third. Utah now with an offensive zone draw. If you can win this one back, bottom line, if you can at least keep the puck in Seattle's end, said it once, I've said it before. Bottom line, if you're in their end, they can't score. So we'll see if they can, at the very least, get that pressure back in their favor. McCann, Stenlin, right side, Seattle zone. Tied up the dot, will end up back behind the net for Mahura, looking to clear this one out right side. Takes a bounce over the stick of Marino there. Races this one all the way back down to the Utah end. Barely an icing on Seattle there. Great effort there by whoever it was that raced down. I couldn't quite see who did. But I believe it was either Larson or Fleury. It was one of the two. Or Eberle. It was one of the ones with a single-digit number. Fleury, the one, because he's still out there. McCann, Stenlin, again on the draw, right side. This time, one back by Utah. Sergachev down at left side point, waits. Decides to ring this one around the boards instead. Ends up right side, now throwing at the net. That one saved by Grubauer. Marino, the one to throw that one to the net. Just looking for something. If Seattle can throw this one, can throw into the net, have it bounce off some skates, no reason why Utah shouldn't be throwing pucks to the net when they can, hoping for a bounce. Been good in front throughout the season. If they can get maybe a lucky tip similar to Seattle, swing that momentum back in their favor. 17:38 now left in the third. Shot hitting 20-15. Right, Stenlin on the draw right side. One back by right. It'll end up to Fleury. Looking to push this one up out of their own zone, and they will. Cartier up the right side with it. He has right, but not able to grab that one, or not able to push it to him. Bad pass, though, right to him, right in front. Looking for one saved away by Vejmelka. Horrible pass there by Utah. Asimont back down the line for Fleury. Another one thrown to the front. Vejmelka looking for the wraparound. That one saved away by Utah. Sergachev gets in the way of that one. Pokes it up in slot, but nobody there. O'Brien chipping this one up to Carcone. Him and Fleury battling for it. Big hit as that one ends up to the left side corner. Right will get to it first. Back to Mata. Throws this one to the net. I believe Hayden the one diving to cause a screen there. Not able to draw Grubauer as much as he'd like. Mata back behind the Utah net, chipping this one out to the right side point. Thrown in front. Catches Schwartz there. Seattle will pick it right back up in neutral ice. Trying to push this one in. Won't be an offsides call there. Doesn't matter. Push back to the Seattle line. Montour. Quick pass across. Seattle back the other way. Getting this one in the zone is Alexiak, but can't do much with it. Here's Kerfoot racing up the left side. Looks to double back to the line. Instead, he'll ring this one around. Schmaltz will get to it first. Right side boards. Around for Cooley, reaching out to grab it. Not able to hold it down, though. Beniers pick it up behind his own net. Cooley with pressure, though. Forced to act quickly. He'll dump this to the left side corner. For Montour, he'll chip this one all the way down to Utah and Kessering there to grab. Keller, pass across in his own zone to Cole. Catches the stick of the Seattle player there. They want a call, won't grab one here. Schmaltz back up the other way. Drops this one back to Keller, left side. Trying to throw it down to the point, won't find it. Here's Stevenson in alone with Kesselring. Tries to spin to cut him off. Back down, looking for anything in the slot. Takes a couple bounces, and Utah back up the other way, 15.5. Here's Keller. Keller cutting in, drops this one back to Cooley. Too many passes, not able to get a shot off. Seattle now back up the other way. Here's McCann trying to get in. That one thrown at the net. Vejmelka with the save and a delayed penalty on Utah, I believe, with 15:16 left in the third. Let's see here who's going to the box. Yes, it is on Utah. Kessering heading to the box for a hooking. We'll see on the... Nope, that's not the replay we want. Believe on McCann, the one. Yes, it is on McCann that takes that hooking call. So Seattle with a golden opportunity here to swing the game back in their favor. Shots hitting 20-17 in favor of Utah. 15:16 left in the third. Right side draw, one back. Now Dunn in the slot, gets this one over to Kakko. Deep, but back to Kakko, cutting up to the right side dot. Looking for a quick little tip in front. And that one knocked out by Utah. Grubauer, he'll leave this one back for Dunn. Back in his own zone. Chips this one up for Kakko. Finds right, cutting up the right side boards. Looks for a tip in front. That one hits the skate of the Utah player, but right in front to McCann. Throws this one to the net. That one saved away. Cole trying to clear this one out. McCann will keep it in. Pass in front that's not able to be held down by Schwartz. All the way back down to the Seattle end for Dunn. McCann back to Dunn. Loses control of the puck there. Stenlin facing... he's trying to skate the wrong way, but he'll keep this one in the Seattle zone. Tied up along the boards, kills off a few seconds there. Minute 05 left in the Seattle power play. 14:15 left in the third. Eberle back in his own zone is that top power play for Seattle out there. Montour circling deep with it. Kerfoot with pressure. Now Stevenson up the other way. Trying to get this one around to Newman. Utah looked to clear, but kept in by Eberle. Kerfoot trying to get this one out the other way. Won't be able to. Newman, he'll push this to the right side corner. Utah will grab it. Looking to clear up to Stenlin. Clears out of the zone, but right at the red line is Montour. 25 seconds now. Newman back to Montour. Deep in the Seattle zone. Long pass up. It ends up to Hayton in the left side corner. 15 seconds. McBain to grab. Looking to clear. And he will. All the way down. Newman will be the one to grab that for Seattle. 5 seconds left on the Seattle power play. Be Montour back in his own zone. That one killed off for Utah. Montour pushes this one in left side. Will end up right side corner. Right trying to grab it. Had Burkowski to help. Kraus trying to keep this one tied up in the corner. Takes a couple bounces away. Still tied up along those boards. And finally, Utah able to clear this one up and out of their zone. Carcone will ring this one around. Seattle will quickly dump it out left side. Here's Seattle back up the other way. Tolvanen throws one from an angle. That one saved away by Vejmelka. Kraus now back out of the Utah zone. Leaves this one for Dursey. Dursey cutting in right side. Throws this one to the net. Goes wide. Kerfoot racing in to grab. Ultimately, it will be Fleury that chips this one around to Mahura along the right side boards. Takes a bounce into the front, but nobody there but Seattle to grab. Burkowski now. Back to Fleury. Chipped up to Beniers, moving up the right side. Dursey hits him off the puck. Utah will clear this one down to neutralize. Seattle will pick it right back up, though. Dunn. Quick little pass across to Beniers. Launches this one in right side, trying to get it to Alexiak. But Cole in with pressure. Schwartz back to Alexiak. Throws Benier in front. Big save. Another one. That one goes in. First shot saved away by Vejmelka, but Schwartz, right place, right time, catches the rebound, puts that one top shelf, and Seattle has the lead for the second time tonight. 11:51 left in the third. Crucial goal. Great effort by Seattle. Schwartz has it in the corner, gives this one around. Thrown in front. Beniers a shot right in the slot. Takes a bounce to Schwartz right side. Yeah, we'll see on the replay here. Blockered away by Vejmelka. Stenlin not able to grab it right to Schwartz. Under the arm of Vejmelka. That one barely squeaks by. Maybe. Now it's gone on the app, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's just that the app is broke. We'll see here. We challenging this one or not? Oh, they're looking at something. Goal is off the app, so they are looking at whatever it is. We'll see here. Oh, no goal for Seattle. Puck did not cross the goal line. So we'll see on the replay. Yeah, let's get a better angle here. Oh, nope, that did not go in. Hits the crossbar. Wow, good officiating there to catch that, because I was completely convinced that one went in. Seattle almost with a chance there. 2 opportunities and another crossbar to add to the list tonight. That's at least 3. Regardless, still tied up at 2. 11:51 left in the third, tied up at 2. You're listening to Utah Seattle on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. 11:51 left in the third. Seattle with a couple chances to tie it up, but ultimately determined the puck did not cross the goal line and it didn't hit the crossbar. So still tied up at 2. But that being said, Seattle with great pressure over these last few minutes. If they can just get one shot to bounce in, they had a crossbar of Amelka with uh, beautiful saves there. So we'll see if Utah can clear this one out, get that momentum back in their favor, or if Seattle keeps up the pressure. Right side draw, Utah zone, 11:51. Shot sitting 20-19 in favor of Utah. Tied up at the dot, Utah trying to squeak this one out. Sergachev will throw this one to the left side boards. Gunther looking to clear this out further than it went, but ultimately not able to. Larson will push this one around, but Utah will quickly clear it all the way down to the Seattle end, and that one icing on them. 13:37 now left in the third. Back to the Utah end we go for the faceoff. It'll be left side draw this time. Finally cut away from the mask of Vamilka there. Stevenson and Hayton on the draw. Eventually we'll get this one dropped. Finally we will. One back by Seattle. Quickly launch the net. Takes a bounce up into the netting. Done with a just absolute bomb from the line. Trying to get anything in. Throw it to the net. See if they can catch a rebound in front. It's definitely been all Seattle over these last few minutes. So why not keep up that pressure? Maybe shake Vamilka a little, see if you can catch a rebound, which they they did on that attempt, just hits the crossbar, barely keeps this tie game. Right or left side draw again, Eberle trying to throw this one in front. He'll keep control instead, down to the right side boards. Swings this one around, will end up behind the net, trying to chip this one in front to Stevenson. Ultimately takes a bounce just a little wide. Marino looking for a long pass up to Schmaltz, won't find it there. Tolvanen back up the other way, chips it up along the right side boards. Marino get this one back to Mata. Schmaltz now with it, throws this one out to open ice. Utah trying to chip this one into the zone, not able to. Seattle pick it right back up in neutral ice. Back in their own zone, looking for a long pass up through the middle. Newman trying to cut in with it. Instead, Utah takes this one away. Cooley, big hit there by McCann. Krause trying to race for it. Kept in along the right side boards. Doan can't quite get to it. And that play blown dead. Believe that bounced up into the netting. That's the only problem there. Yeah, seems like it. No penalty on that play, so that would be my guess. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Right side draw outside the Seattle zone. 10:41 left in the third now. One back by Seattle, dumped into their own zone. Larson passes this one across, chipped up into the Utah zone, but they'll pick it up. Mata looking to move this up the right side with speed. Trying to get it around to Krause along the right side boards. Push the right side corner. Krause will grab it. Moving left side now. Drop back to Mata at the left side point. Over to Dersey, thrown from the right side. Takes a bounce in front. Burakovsky able to just get enough of it out of the way. Diving save there by Doan to keep it in, or to prevent Seattle from getting it out. Ultimately, well, maybe not. Utah fighting to keep it in along the left side boards, and they will. McBain, the one to keep it. Still tied up along the boards. Ends up left side corner. Pushed right. Newman looking to clear, and he will, but Gunther with a great effort there. Would have been an offside, so couldn't quite race for it. Hayton coming in with pressure. Seattle dumps, but Utah push it right back in. Ends up behind the net. Gunther trying to pressure that puck away from Seattle. Ultimately skates all the way back down to the Utah end. No icing. Takes a bounce, and it's in. Another instance of Utah trying to clear this one around the boards. Takes a bounce from behind the net. And this time, Seattle does get that go-ahead goal. We'll see on the replay here how exactly that bounced. See, Sergachev looks to push this one around. Oh, Sergachev tries to clear this one around instead of pushing it around the boards, throws it to the side of Vamelka instead, which then takes a bounce. Seattle able to quickly pick that one up and wrap that around. Kako, the one to do it. His 11th of the seasons. We wait for the assists to roll in. But just a case of bad luck for Utah. Sergachev trying to move the puck too quickly, not seeing where he's throwing that one. Now, Utah's got 9.5 to tie this one up. Cole back behind the Utah net with it. Shots tied at 20 apiece. Waits for a few rotations. Finally, passes this one up to Doan. Doan tries to cut up the right side, loses edge for a sec. Seattle able to dump this one back to neutral ice. Cole push it right back in. Back behind the Seattle net. Trying to clear this one up. Wanted it to go a little further, but Ace-Mont will dump it right side corner. Kesselring trying to fight for it. Gets the chip up to Carconi. It'll take a bounce to neutral ice. Dunn will be there to grab it. Trying to dump this one back for Montour. Instead, Doan getting up in the passing lane there. Finally, Montour grabbed behind the Seattle net. Great pressure there by Utah. Doan again will dump it right back in. Not able to do much with it. We'll try on the second attempt here. Here's Keller moving up the left side. Shot that one saved away by Grubauer. Schmaltz just kind of puck watching as Montour tries to move this one out of the way. It'll take a bounce back to Mata at the point. Jersey, a quick shot from Keller. That one saved away by Grubauer. Or Cooley there. Now back to Keller behind the net. Tries to find Schmaltz for a quick tap in. Won't be able to. Cooley, he'll push this one to the left side boards. Mata will pinch up to grab it. Down to the left side point is Keller. Now Jersey, right side. Back to Keller in the slot. Jersey moving up right side. Schmaltz, a quick shot. Grubauer pretty much in the net looking for a quick rebound there. Back to Schmaltz in front. Shot. That one saved away by Grubauer. Puck still free though. Keller not able to grab it. Pushes this one back down to the point for Jersey. Now Mata back with it. Pushing up the left side. Deep now with it. Ends up to Keller right side corner. Jersey dances the line. Back to Keller right side. Schmaltz in the slot. Drop back to Cooley. Thrown to the net. Catches the body. Seattle looking to clear and finally they will. 7:27 left in the third. Jersey. He'll rocket this one around the boards. It'll end up right side corner. And Seattle will clear this one all the way back down to neutral ice. Sergachev chips this one up to Hayton. He'll push this around. Larson will get to it first, but Kerfoot will grab in the right side corner. Trying to draw a penalty there, won't be able to. Seattle back up the other way. It's Tolvanen. He'll chip this one in right side. He's got Eberle with speed in the right side corner. Ultimately, Gunther is able to take that one away. He tries to clear it around left side, not able to. Seattle will keep it in. Back down at the line. Now Stevenson. Right side point with it. Deep looking for Eberle in front is Tolvanen. Won't find that. Tied up along the right side boards. 6:40 left in the third now. Tied up right at the line. Finally squeaks free. Utah back in control. Sergachev back in his own zone. Chips this one up to Gunther. Gunther cutting up the left side. He'll dump it right side corner. McBain racing to grab it. He's got Kraus to help him. Ends up around the right side boards. Jersey tries to throw this one towards the net. Ultimately goes wide. Now when cleared by Seattle back down to neutral ice. Jersey, he'll launch this one in. Ends up left side boards for Mata. Looking to throw this one in front. Unable to. Seattle looking to clear again, and they will. Barely not kept in there by Jersey. 6 minutes left. Mata, left side point with it. Rings this one around. Grubauer behind his net. Doan with pressure. Ring this one around the right side boards. Kept in. Doan with it. He's got Kraus in front looking for a quick little backhand there. That one goes wide. Back behind the Seattle net. McBain trying to push this one in front. Ultimately, Seattle back up the other way. Newman not able to get this one deep in the Seattle zone. They'll try on a second attempt here. Dumped left side corner. 5.5. Mata. Chipped over to Keller. Now back up to Schmaltz right through the middle. Keller barely doesn't have control of that puck, able to get that shot off, but just goes wide. Sergachev throws this one to the front, bounces wide. Keller will pick it up in the right side corner. Schmaltz trying to dump this one back down to the line. Ultimately, Schwartz will take this one away, trying to move up with it. 2-on-1 against the boards. Beniers not able to pick it up. Utah looking for a long pass up to Keller, unable to. Chipped right side to Kako. 5 minutes left in the third now. Dunn throws this one to the net looking for a tip. Utah will push that one away. Clear it out to neutral ice. Dunn will pick it up. Trying to push this one up the boards. Unable to, but back in the Seattle zone, they have control. Here's Tolvanen cutting up the right side. Circling left. Drops this one back down the line, but ultimately misses that pass. Ends up in the Seattle zone. Grubauer will just push this one left side boards for Montour. 4.5 left in the third now. Alexiak will look to push this one out, but Utah will keep it in. Racing forward around into the left side corner. Kesselring, great effort by him. Pressured by Stevenson the whole way. He'll give this one up to Doan. Doan trying to cut up with it, unable. McBain looks for one from an angle. Stenlund trying to find a tip. Back to Stenlund at the right side point. Dumps this one up. Now Cole cutting up. He's got Kesselring down at the left side point. Goes deep with it instead. Looks for a tip in front. Won't find it. Seattle looking to clear. They'll get it out of their zone. Tied up right at the red line. Utah. Long pass across to Kesselring. Kesselring in the slot. Throws this one to the net. Carcone looking for one, but still saved away by Grubauer. Not sure if that would have counted regardless. Gunther, a quick shot. That one saved away by Grubauer. 3:40 left in the third now. Seattle will clear this one down. They got a 2-on-1 if they act quickly. Asamon thrown to the net. Saved by Vejmelka. Right side corner. Looking for a tip in front. Another one. That one goes wide. Hayton tied up at his own blue line right in front of the bench. Kerfoot misses the puck on his entry. Right, fighting to get this one back up the other way. Now Kerfoot cuts up the left side. He'll chip this one around and end up to Dunn. Seattle will clear this one out of their zone. Dursley will pick it up right at the red line. Launching this one in right side. It'll end up in the left side corner. Both teams digging away at it. Cooley behind the net, looking for a pass in front. Ends up back down the line for Dursley. Waits with it, gives it to Keller. Bad pass though. Schwartz able to pick that one off and back up the other way. He'll dump this left side corner. Motto will get to it first. 2:45 left in the third now. Right side corner. Here's Beniers moving down the wall. Throws this one just wide. Alexiak will push it deeper into the Utah zone. Kakko. Shot from the left side. That one goes wide. Montour will ring this one back behind the net for Kakko. Kakko trying to cut in front with it. Gets the shot there, but catches Mata. That one saved away. Kakko, another one thrown to the net. Cooley looks to clear. Shot there. Schwartz misses the empty net as he had all the time in the world. A bad pass there from Cooley. 2:05 left in the third now. You got to wonder when they're going to pull Vejmelka, and if they are. Tolvanen looks to clear this one to neutral ice. He will. Sergachev back in his own zone. Stevenson with pressure. Back to Sergachev now. Trying to chip this one up into the Seattle zone. Krause. He'll get this one over to McBain. He'll be the one to dump this one. Ends up behind the net for Grubauer. Vejmelka to the bench. Seattle will clear this one to neutral ice. Eberle looking for the empty net, but Utah regaining control before he can get in. 1:35, Utah. Shot sitting 27-21 with the empty net. Down one. Sergachev. He'll dump this one back. Keller, he'll chip this one right side into the Seattle end. Montour looking to clear all the way down, and he will. Gunther will get to it first, so he's the only one back. That one, and icing on Seattle. 1:15 left in the third. 6-on-5 in the Seattle zone. If they win tonight, they join the tie for the second wild card. The only saving grace is Calgary also lost tonight. Utah will call their time out. Shots currently sitting 25-21 after some adjusting. Breaking that down in the third, 8-6 in favor of Utah. Some other interesting stats while we're waiting here. Hits currently sitting 31-18 Seattle. So definitely Utah proving they are not a physical team. Utah just needs one to get this to overtime. See if they can do it. If nothing else, they're still winning faceoffs like they usually do, sitting 34-23 in favor of Utah. Here we go. Faceoff or timeout over. Where is the thing? There it is. Minute 15. Believe it's going to be left side draw in the Seattle zone. It will. It'll be Hayton. And who from Seattle to challenge? Beniers. Left side draw, Seattle zone, a minute 15. Utah win the faceoff, just not far enough backs. Eberle looking for a long pass up, and Seattle has the empty net. Wow, that was anticlimactic. Jesus. That's the wrong one. There it is. Hayton will win the draw back, but doesn't win it back far enough. Tolvanen looks to be the one that got the empty net, and it was Tolvanen, his 21st of the season. Eberle, his 12th assist. Eberle also, well, for both Tolvanen, his second on the night, and Eberle, his second assist on the night. A good effort by Utah ultimately crashes down from a just mistake there by Sergachev to dump that puck around. And then Hayden doesn't win that face-off back far enough. Seattle able to clear this one up out of the zone. Still a minute 09, not impossible for Utah to come back, but have a feeling this one should be over. Kesselring back in his own zone. Utah looking for one last rush of life here. Although Seattle back up the other way, it's McCann trying to get this one across to Schwartz. Won't find him. Here's Keller cutting up with it. Poke checked right out of the zone. 45 seconds now. McBain, he'll dump this to the right side corner. Mahura trying to fight for it. Krause looking to push this one back down to the right side point. Out of the zone, just barely bounces over the stick of Marino. 30 seconds now in the third. Tied up along the boards, Utah will just dump this one on net. Grubauer will just dump this behind his own net. Seattle looking for a long pass on the second empty net. That one icing. Never tell anymore when it's actually empty net and when it's not, because the Utah score bug is horrendous. Half time it doesn't work. 15.5, Utah will need a miracle, and let's not kid ourselves. They ain't getting one. So let's just get this face off and let's get out of here for the night. Left side draw in the Seattle zone will be Hayton and who we got? Can't tell, ref's in the way. It'll be Stevenson as he stands up. Eventually, we'll drop this puck. Try on the second attempt here. Utah win it back. Hayton will win it too far this time. Of course he does. Sergachev will grab it right at the red line, cutting in. He'll throw this one in the net. Grubauer with the save. Stevenson will pick it up. 4 seconds. Trying to dump this around. Gunther trying to throw this one in front. Hayton shot. That one goes wide. And that will be the game. Seattle playing spoiler, taking 2 points from Utah tonight as they are victorious 4-2. Final shots ending 24-22 in favor of Utah. Breaking that down, that's 9-6 in the first, 11-6 Utah in the second, or 9-6 Seattle in the first, 11-6 Utah in the second, and tied at 7 in the third. Next game for Utah, if this game wasn't important enough, Sunday they take on Vancouver. I am curious to see if Calgary plays before then. They do not play tomorrow. And they do not play on Sunday. So the game against Vancouver will pretty much decide for the next little bit here who has control of that second wild card. If Vancouver wins, they move up into it. If Utah wins, they get back into the same conversation they had tonight of tying for it. Regardless, that is a problem for then. As for here, I have been Taryn Holmes. This is Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. Have yourselves a good rest of the night.
supposed to feel.